good morning, good morning. Welcome to another edition of Chopping It Up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the throat. Hey, listen, not too busy night in sports last night, especially with the NFL season finishing. But we won't forget about the NFL as we'll start talking drafts as the future comes. But in the meantime, there were a couple of games in the NBA last night, and two that came to my attention. One was the Cleveland and OKC game, and then Boston and the Portland game. And two big college games last night that we'll talk about too as well. But starting with the Cleveland OKC game. What a game by Westbrook. He notches his 26th triple-double of the season. I believe he had 29 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists. Guys, listen. I watched this game last night, and I've been saying this all season, and I don't get to see it as many OKC games, but I got a chance to see this game. And what I've been saying all season long is not far from the truth. And that is, I'm so impressed with his assist totals than anything else. We know he can score. And the fact that he takes a lot of shots and he goes to the basket, he's probably in position to get his own rebound. But his assist totals impressed me quite a bit. And let me tell you why. I watched this team. It is offensively challenged. There's no one on that team that's going to go to an all-star game. Occasionally, you'll see a good game by Oladipo. But Oladipo is not a catch-and-shoot kind of guy. If you find him on a break, he can fill the lanes and run the floor. He's more off-the-dribble kind of guy. So that takes away from your assist. I mean, the fact that Russell is finding guys like Steven Adams and Andre Robertson and putting them in a position that when he delivers them the ball, they're able to find an easy shot or have an easy shot. It's just a tremendous job what he's doing as far as the way he's distributing the ball. I tell you what, it's actually, it should be commendable, really. That to me, that's the biggest surprise of his game. And I'll tell you, there were probably many people out there that thought that would probably be the least part of his game, thinking that now that Durant is not there, perhaps maybe he would need to take a one-on-one approach, just do it by himself, kind of like an Iverson approach. And even though he's having that Iverson approach, but he's also finding a way to make his teammates better. Just a tremendous job by Westbrook. So in this game, he notches his 26th triple-double. He outduels Kyrie Irving, and OKC gets the win over Cleveland. A couple of strange things in this game that I saw. I saw LeBron miss two wide-open dunks. I mean, just two wide-open dunks. I know Reggie Miller was saying that maybe he jumped too high. I don't know about all that. I just saw two missed open dunks. How often do you see that from LeBron missing one, let alone two in the same game? And I'm going to tell you something. I don't want to start nothing, but this game could have been part of the deflate game because there was 3 incidents where the ball got stuck on the rim. When do you see that in a game? That's something to make you say, The ball got stuck on the rim 3 times. It barely happens once, let alone 3 times in one game. Incredible to see. But yeah, getting back to it, LeBron, he finished with 18. Kevin Love had a double-double, 15 points, I think 15 rebounds. Kyrie Irving, he had 29 points. 26 points, something to that effect. But Kyrie Irving, is there a player in the league that has a better handle than him? This guy is clearly a magician with the basketball. When I saw him do last night a couple of moves, just the way he dribbles the ball, and the thing about it is that his jump shot, it's not automatic, but it's improving. It's getting better and better and better. And the thing about it, you have to play up on him because he can knock it down. But if you play up on him, he's just going to embarrass you. I mean, his handles are bananas. It's just simply incredible the way he handles the ball, he dribbles the ball. it's fun to watch. This guy can get to the basket anytime he wants. And he knows how to use the backboard to his advantage. He knows how to put the proper English on the ball. He knows how to deliver his body into the defender so that the defender's unable to block the shot. It's just so much that's improved on his game that I think in a very near future, we could possibly talk about him being the best player in the game. Kyrie Irving, yes, he's that special of a talent. Unbelievable what I seen he can do. And I was aware of it. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it's new to me. But when you get a chance to see it and you're reminded by it, just fascinating what he can do with the basketball. The Harlem Globetrotters don't have nothing on him. But anyway, good game by Kyrie Irving. They came up short. Maybe the effects of a back-to-back, who knows? Maybe just a road game in OKC. One thing about Russell Westbrook, he seems to come up with the big win when they need one. And they needed that one last night, I should say. And they did. And it sets up the showdown for the return of Kevin Durant this Saturday night as the Golden State Warriors on a national televised game on ABC will go into OKC, and he will play his former team for the first time back in OKC. So it should be fun to watch, should be interesting, and should be a good game. Moving right along, the next game I want to talk about is Boston and Portland. That was the second game of the TNT last night. And Boston coming off the disappointing loss the night before to Sacramento. They failed to Sacramento. They fall to Sacramento, even without DeMarcus Cousins being there, who was suspended for a 16 tech. But this was a great game. Portland is led by the backcourt of C.J. McCollum and Dame Lillard, and they didn't disappoint. Combined, they scored for nearly 50 points. I believe Dame had 28, CJ had 20. They came at Boston. Boston needed a 43-point fourth quarter to pull this one out. But the king of the fourth quarter, Isaiah Thomas, was on display last night again. He finished with 34 points as he outdueled Dame, but at the same time, he had 15 fourth-quarter points. 15 fourth quarter points. Unbelievable. He leads the league at 11 a game in the fourth quarter. I mean, again, I say this. He's not the best player in the game. But when you think about pound for pound in the game, I mean, this guy is probably 5'10", 165, 170. He's the second leading scorer in the NBA. Take him off of Boston. Boston is clearly a lottery team. And I'm talking about top 5. Leading the fourth quarter with 11 per game. Unbelievable, this little guy is. Unbelievable. So Boston, with this win and the Cleveland loss, they get back to 2.5 games behind Cleveland. Unbelievable what we're witnessing with this guy. Unbelievable. And they played this game without Jay Crowder, so it was the first start for Jaylen Brown, and not bad. I mean, this game featured, I believe, 6-7 players in double figures, led by Isaiah Thomas, and that's the thing about this Boston team. Don't get me wrong, it's clearly Isaiah's team. They all feed off of him. He's not just hoisting up shots. I watched a couple of Boston games, especially when they play the Knicks. It seemed like the shots that he take are rhythm shots or just shots that he should take. I don't see him forcing up anything. I don't think I have said that's a bad shot. I'm sure he has taken a bad shot or one that he wish he had taken back, but I can't recall saying, no, don't shoot that. It seemed like everything is just in the flow of the game. He's clearly the leader. They feed off of him. And I think that they have a system over there in place, kind of like a Popovich or a Belichick. I really think Brad Stevens is really the MVP of that team. What he does with the next man up or just having everybody ready to play. Remember, they've been playing without Avery Bradley. Rozier is having maybe a career year. He's having a career year. Marcus Smart is giving you everything. Jay Crowder misses last night's game to return home in Dallas to be with family. Hope everything is okay there. Nothing serious. You know, you never want to hear anything like that. So I hope everything is well with his family. But in his absence, the rookie Jaylen Brown, out of California University, here in our backyard from Marietta, filled in admirably. So, I mean, they have a next man up mentality over there. They're playing some outstanding ball. So, good win by them. I mean, Boston continues to move the needle to me. I don't know if they're going to make a trade here at the deadline. The one thing I would say about Danny Ainge, he's not a gambler. You know, he doesn't make risky moves or anything like that. He'll definitely make a move. And if you look at the moves that he's made in the last 10 years, he's made some really, really, really powerful moves that benefited Boston. I can't really remember a move that he made that in recent years that you say, why did he make that move? I mean, unloading Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce and Jason Terry to the Nets and just heist them for draft picks, turning out to be the move of the century. Getting Kevin Garnett from Minnesota and getting Ray Allen from Seattle, then Seattle Supersonics. I thought those was the heist of the century. But this Brooklyn trade is really the heist. But he hasn't really just made trades to make trades. He pulled off the move to get Isaiah Thomas, which was a good move as well. But he's sitting there with a plethora of draft picks. He's got a lot of young talent that probably could be stars somewhere else. You know, Marcus Smart probably could be a major contributor on another team. Jaylen Brown has all the makings of being a star in this league. Rozier could be a rotation player somewhere getting more minutes, as his minutes will probably get cut once Avery Bradley gets back. You know, so he has some players to move. Will he make a splash to bring somebody in that can provide additional scoring that can help move the needle? We'll see. Because me personally, I really truly think that that's why you keep hearing LeBron's name mentioned with Melo. Not that he wants Melo, but just so that the asking price of Melo can go up. Because if Boston can get Melo without having to give up Jay Crowder, Horford, Avery Bradley, or Isaiah Thomas, that would be a powerful move for them. Because I could see Horford going to the 5, Melo playing the 4, and everything else remain the same. And with the defensive prowess of Crowder and Bradley, they can hide Melo's defensive inability to defend. They can hide that. So, and I think LeBron is aware of that. And he knows that if Melo should wind up in Boston, that could be challenging. And keep this in mind. Whoever trades for Carmelo, if that should go down, it's not like they're giving up the King's ransom to get him. They know that Phil is looking to unload him. They're going to try to give up the least package as possible. The least attractive package as possible. This is not one that's just going to be like, here, take it all. No, it's not. So, and I think LeBron's aware of that. And that's why you keep hearing his name mentioned with Melo. He's driving up the asking price for Carmelo. Because just like he doesn't want to see Melo in Boston, you can rest assured Boston don't want to see Melo in Cleveland. Unless they're giving up Kevin Love. Because then I just think it's a wash. And it may not even be better. Because I think Kevin Love will play bigger around the basket on the defensive end when it comes down to rebounding than Carmelo. Because Kevin Love is naturally plays bigger than Carmelo. Carmelo likes to play small, such as the small forward, opposed to the big forward. All right, we're going to touch on a little NCAA basketball. Great game again. What did you expect between the number 18 Duke and I believe the number 10, what is it? Number 8 North Carolina. What a battle. This one here, though, was surprisingly Duke's backcourt of Kennard and Grayson Allen, Luke Kennard and Grayson Allen, proved to be the difference as Grayson Allen was just lights out from three, 7 for 12. He finished with 25. Kennard, he had 20 points. The backcourt for North Carolina was very quiet. In fact, the only player to really have a big game last night was Justin Jackson, the 6'8" power forward. He finished with 26 points, I believe it was, 21 points, something like that. But outside of that, looked like North Carolina, they had a little balanced attack, but it seemed like no one got going to help him out to go up against this backcourt. And the backcourt for Duke just seemed to be too much. Grayson Allen, he, like I said, he put on a show. And then the 6'6" guard, Luke Kennard, he was right behind him. So they had a backcourt that was just too much. And anytime you have Duke and North Carolina playing one another, it doesn't matter who's in uniform. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter who's in uniform. These guys is playing like it's a championship game. It's just bragging rights. Whether it's just the state, whatever the case is, these guys is gonna play as if it's all on the line. And that's what you got last night. And Grayson Allen, the hothead, he's had some issues on the court this year with some tripping violations. I believe he was suspended or something like that. But the one thing, kid can play. That's for sure. He's probably going to play in the NBA. Someone's going to take a chance on him and draft him, and rightfully so. The kid can put the ball in the hole. That's for sure. He definitely can shoot the ball. So he should have a career going down the line. And then there was another top 10 game out there. You had UCLA going up against Oregon, and I believe UCLA was number 10 in the country, and Oregon was number 5. And what a game this was. 82-79. UCLA came out on top. They were led by their freshman point guard, Ball. Interesting enough, Ball's younger brother, LaMelo Ball, sophomore over out there in Chino Hills, California. Not Chino Hills. What's that team's name? I'm sorry, they was playing Chino Hills. But anyway, 2 days ago, he scored 92 points in the game. How did I forget to talk about that? He scored 92 points in the game. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. 92 points in a game. He's destined to go to to college. I believe he's going to sign at UCLA. But getting back to the UCLA game, he had Lonzo Ball hit a clutch 3 to help propel this win for UCLA over Oregon. Final score 82-79. They used a balanced attack. Oregon, top team, but they only played 7. They were led by 2 guys with 19 points each. Dorsey and what's the other guys? I can't think of it. But Dorsey, he had 19, and was another player on the team. He also had 19 points as well. But they only played 7, and sometimes that could be a little bit of an issue. You gotta deepen that bench in college. When you're playing 20-minute halves, you don't have the luxury of having intermission or breaks as in the pros, as between first and second quarter, between third and fourth quarter. So you're going to have to use your timeouts, or you just need to have your bench in there, not necessarily to extend a lead or grab a lead, but just to give rest or breather to your starters. So something to look out for in the future for Oregon if they want to go far in this tournament, especially when you're playing every other day in NCAAs. You're going to have to strengthen that bench, or you're going to have to stretch that rotation out a little bit. Otherwise, it could be a one and done, because sometimes you get in there and get an unfamiliar foe. You may be the number 2 seed or number 1 seed, and you give somebody number 15, number 16. You let them hang around, you get upset early. Believe me, Sweet 16 won't find you. Absolutely. So Oregon's going to need to stretch out their bench or strengthen it. And before I close, the Knicks will resume playing basketball tonight at the Garden as they face Denver Nuggets. First of all, they're in need of a win as they are 10 games below 500. I'm hoping this Charles Oakley fiasco is behind them as well as sparks them because the media attention is on them now. From the owner to the club to Phil Jackson to the players to the arena to the security team. You had fans at the Rangers game, the hockey game, yelling, "Free Oakley, free Oakley, free Oakley." So I know it's going to be bananas at the game tonight. But more importantly, New York, you need this win. You need to get on track as your playoff hopes are slipping away just from a culture standpoint, just from body language, and so forth. From mathematically, unbelievable. You're only 3 games out, but you let the hottest team in the league, Miami, surpass you as they went on their 12-game winning streak. That is the longest winning streak by a team that's under 500 in NBA history. And they also became the first team to have a double-digit losing streak and a double-digit winning streak in the same season. But to win 12 games in a row, no matter what team you are, is a fascinating feat. I've been critical on Eric Spoelstra over the years, and that's actually a good job, especially this team is a bit challenged. For him to have a 12-game winning streak, that's a good run. Probably his best stretch of coaching in a very long time, or maybe ever. Maybe ever. Maybe ever. And lastly, around the league, Charles Oakley received tremendous support by current players. They felt that he should be treated much better as he's truly one of the greats in this NBA game. There's none like him. He has the respect from players that never even played against him, and for the few players that may have played against him that's still in the league, I don't know if there's any, but Jason Terry's been around a long time. He's been getting tremendous support. Listen, once again, guys, I don't condone the arrest behavior, but at the same time, we only saw the video coverage after he was confronted and was told to walk away. We didn't see any coverage that led up to why they would even go over to him. He paid for his tickets, as Rodney Bedford said yesterday, as he wrote in on Facebook, as I was Facebook Live yesterday. He said, if he paid his ticket, he can say whatever he wants. He's no different than any other fan that's in there that's heckling players, heckling the ref, maybe even heckling Phil, maybe even heckling James Dolan himself. So why can't Oakley do the same if he was? But anyway, nevertheless, let's just hope we can get back to basketball, get back to some winning ways, recapture some of that spark that we had early in the season, and make a run out of this. Until then, hey, you have a good start to the weekend. Be safe, be blessed, and I'll see you soon. Peace and blessings.